Dan, what is Snaps?
Oh, well, it is a system. So it's composed of cards that have photographs on them, just beautiful full-color photographs, and then the photographs have some hidden meanings in them. There's symbols and numbers and the alphabet, and basically you can do all kinds of card tricks with them, but it changes what the character of the card trick is, you know, because instead of being just cards, these are photos that have some meaning on their own, but then they have those hidden symbols that you can arrange to reveal all kinds of information that people don't see coming. There's one, that's face up. Oh, and there's one that is also face up.
Yo! Wait. All that is really cool, but what do you get?
Okay, so you have...
Show me the toys.
That's
Dan.
right. The toys are 2 decks of cards. Now, when we started this project, it was doing the alphabet. So we have the alphabet cards here. It's called the focus deck. You get a reference card that shows you every one of them. The cards are all marked on the back, so it gives you the little idea of what the markings are. Beautifully designed backs that the markings are extremely well hidden, but really easy for anybody that knows what they're looking for. And then this is the whole alphabet. So there's your A's. Now, most of the letters will have multiple versions of them, B's and C's, and then all the way through. I mean, look at those. Those are just nice, you know? And like I said, when you look at it, you know what you're looking at, but if you didn't know that it was a letter, you wouldn't immediately think that that's
I've
a letter.
seen you do a trick with this, and I thought you were doing like a toothbrush thing,
yeah,
but then
and
it
nobody
jumped
knows.
out at me, and yeah.
That's the thing. I mean, you know, it really, and here's one of my favorites. I put it up here at the top, which incorporates 4 of the letters. So here's a, you know, a horn, tennis ball, you know, electrical thing, and then you've got a slide. But when you put those together, those spell stop. And then we also have a stop sign. Now that actually comes from the other deck.
Okay.
So you have all the alphabet, but then you've got all these kind of interesting symbols and shapes and other things that you can use. So what I like to do with this is a routine where I'm just dealing and I have somebody say stop. The card they stop me on is a stop sign. This is where you decided to stop. It's really fun.
That's
and then
great.
you can use you can use any force for these, and then it finds these 4 pictures, and when you lay those out, people realize, wait a second, they stopped you on stop, and they found 4 images that spell out stop. It's got a real nice texture to it.
So you've got letters over here, but you've got symbols and numbers
That's
as well?
right. Yep. So over in here, you know, once we exhausted the alphabet, we were like, well, we've got to be able to reveal numbers too, to do serial numbers and dates and, you know, anything else that you want to do. Read out the serial number of the bill that you loaned us, starting from the first letter.
B 116A.
So this deck contains all of the numbers. So here's like an obvious one right there. There's a door key that goes to number 8. Here's a race car, that's a 0. So they're still hidden in here, but they're a little bit more obvious when you know that you're looking for a number. Again, if you didn't, you'd just say that's a coin. You'd just say that's a sign. You know, there's a horse, right? That kind of stuff. An 8-ball makes sense, right? So there are 2 of every number in here, and then there are also shapes. So you've got all the ESP symbols. There's 2 of those in here as well. And then there are iconic things like the Eiffel Tower or a star, you know, and a red car, you know, different things that you can use as psychological forces. Some of them are just kind of symbolic, like those are the ESP symbols for the crosses there. We've got animals.
This is like a utility device for like magicians and mentalists.
That's right.
I mean, this is like sort of crossing genres and boundaries and dealing with all kinds of different types of magic.
Yeah, and you can also use these without revealing that they're letters, just because the photographs are so cool. So I do a thing that's just straight up mentalism, where somebody picks a photo. It's based on a Jay Sankey trick that I read a long time ago that was done with playing cards, and I used to do it with playing cards all the time, where you steal the person's thought and then you replace it with another thought. What was that other image? Okay.
Oh, shut up.
What are you thinking of?
My picture.
What is your picture?
Baseball.
No! No! No!
Wait, how? Wait, how?
No! No!
That's the one you chose. I know it doesn't feel right for you.
It's not the one.
That is. That's the one you took out.
No.
See, your memory.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Your memory has been changed. They will tell you that that's the one that you, because they saw it. You took that one out. I've never seen it before.
No. I had a baseball. I had a
No, you now believe.
Man, a surgeon. He was just in your mind.
So tell me about the what's my name trick.
Yeah, so that's what I was talking about before. It's more of a magic trick. You can use any kind of way to force cards on somebody. Personally, I lean toward more mathematical forces. It allows them to mix the cards up and all that kind of stuff. And then at the end, the cards that are face up spell out their name. And I like to do it as kind of a pseudo reading, you know, like each of those photos says something about you as a person. And as I put them out there, all you're thinking is, these are photos and this is funny because I make up funny things. Were you born in a lighthouse?
How did you know?
And then at the end of it, your name is spelled out. It's so strong. That's a close-up of a chain link from a swing set. So Steve,
I can't think of a more powerful thing than to have my name come at me from something that is shuffled.
randomly that you mixed up.
Yeah.
And then when we're talking about mentalism, there's an amazing book test.
Oh, the book test is so cool. It comes out of nowhere and hits you so hard.
Yeah, because it has a 1-2 punch to it. So the idea of the book test is that a bunch of people just pick random photos and then they stick them in various places in the book. And then somebody else takes all of them out except for one. So they leave one of them in as a bookmark, whatever one they want to leave in, you know. And then when they look at that page, they read the first line, and the photo that they left in as the bookmark reveals the image that's written in the first line. And this is ungimmicked book. You can pull a book off of the shelf and do this with this. So that photo reveals what they stuck it into on the page, and then the other photos, they spell out exactly the same thing.
It's so cool because I've never seen a book test that has two climaxes built into it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's killer in and of itself.
Yeah, and my favorite thing working with this system are those end revelations where you've just been dealing with photos, you're just setting them out, you don't say anything about it. They're all photos right up until you put that last one on there, and then people go, and they see that word.
Yeah. You can feel the oxygen just get sucked out of the room and then rush back in as the audience explodes.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
There's more than a dozen routines that are included with this that you can do as soon as you get the deck. You don't need tons of other gimmicks or extra things. It's really easy to do and well-explained stuff from both you and David Jonathan.
Yeah, we wanted to make sure everybody understood what the concept was and had different ways of approaching it. So we put in as many possible ways of using it and some of our favorite principles that can be incorporated into it. David goes into using the marks more than I don't use a lot of mark deck stuff, but they're there for people that want to use them. He goes into that, you know, and then I show a few of the other things, like push as an example of something that it's just better because you're looking at an image.
Yeah.
And then we also have a Facebook group.
That's the thing I'm so excited about, is that when you get this, you're not just getting the routines that you guys teach. It's like there's more contributions that have come out since you guys filmed the tutorial.
And, there are already things that have come out that are great. Well, you know, David held back some of them. We couldn't put all of our routines on it. I held back a couple of them as well that are also going to be on the Facebook group. But then other people that have seen this, that are working with it now, they contributed to it. So with the Hive Mind, I mean, literally there will be hundreds of ways of using these.
Well, Dan, thanks so much for telling us about Snaps, and I'm so excited for people to start playing with
Good.
this.
Well, I hope everybody is excited too, because they're going to love it. They're, like I said, I'm very careful about the things that I release. This one, I am proud of. You guys are going to dig it.